Okay, today we're going to run through a very basic speaker design and how to actually split it and turn it into two separate bodies and then shell it out. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you've got a speaker project created. If not, click the new project button and create a project called speaker, and then you can go into your speaker folder here and see the stuff you're working on. I'm just going to make a brand new one. So I've made a new document here. The first thing I'm going to do is hit save. I'm going to save it as shoot, because you need to save it first, because as soon as you start saving the file, it's going to automatically save the whole time. So in theory, you should never ever lose any work. So to start with, I'm going to do a create new sketch, and I'm going to select the front, which is this diamond here. And I know I'm drawing on the front because it says front up here. I'm going to create a rectangle, which I can click on the rectangle button or hit R. And let's say I'm going to make it maybe 50 mil by 120. So to change between those dimensions, I've just hit the tab key, like so. Okay. I'm then going to hit E to extrude it. Click on that face. And I'm going to push it out the back. $55 mil, like so. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to draw up the outside of the speaker, if you like. So we're actually going to not worry about any of the internal stuff and just make a solid object which reflects what the outside of the external parts of the speaker are actually going to look like. So I'm going to select all these edges, like so, and then I'm going to put a 20 mil, or maybe a 15 mil fillet on there, like so, maybe 10, yeah, something like that. Okay. Perfect. So I've got something there that looks kind of roughly like the speaker I want to create. And now what I need to do is I actually need to split that in half. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to actually create a new sketch in the middle of this document, or the middle of, this speaker design. So to do that, I'm going to click on Construct Offset Plane. I'm going to select my front face here, and I'm actually going to push it back. Now, if memory serves, my speaker was 55 mil. So I'm just going to type in negative 55 over 2. And that'll give me 27.5, and that's halfway through. So now I've got that plane in the middle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Sketch and create a sketch on that work plane. And now I'm just going to hit R and make a rectangle any old size, as long as it's bigger than the speaker, like so. And that's what I'm going to use to split this into two halves. So I'm going to go click up a model here. I'm going to go to Patch, and I'm going to click Create, and I'm going to select that square and hit OK. So now I've actually created a flat surface, which I can use to split my speaker in half. So I can go back to Patch up here. I'm going to go back into Model. I'm going to click on Modify, and I'm going to Split Body. And then I can actually click on the body here. Click on the splitting tool and hit OK. And now what's that's done, it doesn't look like it's done much, but if I go over to my tree here and I go to bodies, I can turn off that surface, and I've actually made two separate bodies here. So what I might do is I might change the names of those and call this one front and call this one back. Now what this allows me to do is it allows me to actually start to shell out the speaker and make it hollow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the back off with this little bulb here. And now I can come from the back and I can go to Modify, Shell, and I can actually click on this back piece here. And let's say I want to go about 5 millimeters. And I can go 5 like that. Hit Enter, and I've actually shelled that piece out. I can do the same, turn the front off, turn the back on. And then I can do the modify shell, do the same here, and actually go 5mm on that as well. Like so. Now I've got two parts that have been shelled out. So I'm starting to get something that's starting to resemble a speaker. So the main steps when you're actually designing a speaker is to try and work out the dimensions of the speaker, draw the outside as a solid object, split it in half, and then start to shell things out. Okay? Now, if you wanted to add your magnet holes, you would do that on this edge and be able to extrude it the way through. But if you just follow this tutorial and do it this way, it'll teach you the basic skills, and then you can apply those to your individual speaker design. Thank you.